A few weeks ago, I mentioned how I thought Games Workshop had lost their balls.
Officer Balls.
How that Warhammer 40k felt increasingly less grim dark. And, you know, I used an example with the Emperor's Children, saying how the models were basically just, you know, the models were beautiful. Don't get me wrong, the models were beautiful, very, very well sculpted, very, very well detailed, but I didn't feel they were particularly grimdark. You basically had a bunch of beautiful pink tactical marines, and then beautiful pink, slightly bigger marines with the flawless blades and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I said that, you know, the Emperor Children, they should have had really messed up models, like guys that showed excess, but nothing about them, apart from being a bit gaudy, or very gaudy even, nothing really was particularly excessive about them. And I was like, GW needs to reclaim their balls. Now, unfortunately, I'm not the bearer of good news today. Unfortunately, I am the bearer of beefy news, because I'm gonna say it's a hot take. It's a bold hot take, but the new Dark Eldar character that they've come out with is awful. Now, it's Lady Malaise. Now, I want to make something clear. It's an extremely well detailed model, and I think that the person who has sculpted this, be it by hand or be it digitally, has done an amazing job on the sculpt. Okay, so let's make something clear here. It's not a bad model. It's not a bad model at all, but it's not very grimdark. And it's not very grimdark at all. And honestly, it's a good miniature. It's a good miniature, but it ain't a Warhammer 40k miniature. I don't know what game this is for. This looks like it's this looks like a League of Legends character or something like that. This looks like, people keep calling her like Shadowheart from like Baldur's Gate 3. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. So I'm going to put it on screen now. I'm going to put it on screen now, and you guys can, lambast me, or, give me your thoughts on this. But this is the model in question. Okay. Now, like I said, very well detailed. The crease, the way the cloak flows, the details and the braids of the hair, all of this, very, very grim, not very grim dark, very, very detailed and beautifully painted. Beautifully painted. I mean, look at that blue. Look at the blue on the model. It's like it's wearing midnight. It's like the model is wearing midnight. Okay, like, it's beautifully painted, beautiful model, but it's just not a grim dark model. It's just not a grim dark model. And this model right here, I'm gonna say it. This model right here is the perfect example of no balls GW. This is the perfect example of everything that has been. This is the peak example of everything that has gone wrong with Warhammer 40k in the last 2 or 3 years. Over the last few years. Okay? Because this model has no balls, and I'm not talking about because it's a lady, we're not talking about that. I don't know, that ball cup could be concealing a hell of a package, a cod piece to make an Empire State Troop jealous. But on a serious note, this model is everything that's wrong with Corpo GW, because it's very safe. It's very safe. There's nothing here that is controversial or particularly grim dark or, you know, particularly evil. I mean, a few spikes on the armor does not make someone look evil. You know, it's just, you know, it's just not an evil model, and even more so, it's the paint. The big thing here as well is not only is the sculpt not particularly evil looking, not particularly grim dark at all, but the paint job. What the fuck is the paint job? You know, what the fuck is the paint job? I mean, the paint job is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but when I say what's the fucking paint job, what I'm really saying is, and this is going to sound really wrong out of context, but that is the wrong fucking skin color. I told you it was going to sound bad. No. Wait. But let me do. Right, that's it, boys. I'm cancelled. No, on a serious note, that skin is full of life, and it's full. You know, there's a real glow. There's a real glow to it. You know, it looks healthy. It's a healthy model. It's a healthy skin tone. And then you've got the fact that the model, look at the facial expression. Okay? Look at the facial expression. It's not... there's no viciousness to the face. There's no... In fact, it's almost, you know, there's almost a smile on the face, and it's not like a cruel, vindictive smile. It's not like a snarl in the middle of combat. It's just a... Oh, see if I can get it right. Slight frown and then... There's no difference. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. It's the same picture. It's the same picture. It's the same picture. So there's no like balls to the model. There's no aggression to the model. There's no viciousness or evilness or grim darkness or extreme or excessiveness about the model in any way, shape or form. It's just a pretty elf girl in it's just a pretty elf girl in slightly spiky armor with a fan and a sword which looks eerily reminiscent of one of those bad dragon dildos. I mean, I'm talking down to the fucking paint scheme. Down to the colours that they chose. So, like I said, I'm not... Let me reiterate this again. This model is extremely highly detailed. This model is extremely well painted, and this model will be very enjoyable for many people to paint. And we are not criticizing the model on its own merits, as it were, but we're criticizing the model in the context of like the game that it's meant to be set in. Now let me show you something. I got more. Cosmic, I got more. Hang on. This is not meant to be like a really big thing. I'm just saying, this is just like my opinion that this... Everyone in chat's going mental. Everyone in chat's like, Mordian. Oh my God. All right. But the point is, with this model, is that it's just not really appropriate for being a Dark Elder model. It's a bit like, you know, the Lord Sol Leontus when he came out. You know, when Lord Sol Leontus came out, you know, he's just an Age of Sigmar model that happens to have found his way into Warhammer 40k. And frankly, this kind of, you know, frankly, this, you could take, put it this way, guys, you could take this exact model right here, make absolutely 0 changes to this model. Literally, I'm not even talking like you had to like change a sword or do a head swap. You could take this model and use it in Age of Sigmar, and it would look completely in place. I don't know if Dark Elves are still in Age of Sigmar. I think they are in some capacity. I think that, I'm not sure if they're under like Cities of Sigmar or something. But, you know, this would be, this model, if I looked down at an Age of Sigmar game and I saw, you know, Dark Elves, the Witch Elves, yeah, the Witch Elves. Yeah, so, or Daughters of Cain, I think that's what it is. You know, if you put this model as a leader or a character next to all the Daughters of Cain, it would look totally in place. It would, or you know, look totally in place. So, you know, it's again, I can't say it's enough. I think the model's really, you know, detailed and everything. And I don't even think the model's a bad model. But what I'm saying is that this is the epitome of what's wrong with corporate GW, because it's like there's nothing unsafe. There's nothing unsafe about this figure in any way, shape, or form. And you know what? When you compare it to some of the old models that we've had in the past, you start to realize, how far we've fallen. Okay? So, here, bear with me. Okay? Bear with me. So I've got two. I got two to show you. Okay? I want to actually check. One of three. Okay. I got a couple. There's two main ones I want to show you. Okay. So the first one is my main. Well, 1 minute. That's a good one, actually. 1 minute. So. Let's go back to the last time that Dark Elder got a bit of a refresh. Let's have a look at Lilith Hesperax. I think I'm saying that correctly, but correct me if I am wrong. So Lilith Hesperax has been a Dark Elder character for ages and ages and ages, and she's basically like the most famous of the Dark Elder witches. I think she's like the most famous succubus of the Dark Elder witches. Now this model is so Dark Elder. Okay, this model is so Dark Elder. Okay, so firstly, it's a, you know, let's just talk about like how menacing the model is. Okay, how menacing the model is. Mad Larkin, don't worry. Have faith. I got you. Okay, hang on, guys, don't worry. Have you not learned to put your faith in me at this point? Hang on. Shut your batties. Right? So this is a Dark Elder model. Firstly, the armor is not overly spiky, but the ensemble as a whole is oozing in lethality. It's oozing. The whole model is oozing in lethality, and a huge part of that is, you know, you've got the armor and everything, but a huge part of that for me is the facial expression. The face, look at that facial expression, and then look at that facial expression. This one looks almost emotionless. There's almost no emotion going on in here. Looks like a Vulcan. It's like a Vulcan from Star Trek. And then you've got this. There's a snarl. There's like a feral snarl that's going on. And then you've got so there's a I can believe if this bitch wanted to fuck me up, I believe she was capable of it. That's the thing, right? I believe that this would I would not come out the other side of this very, 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 very well. All right. Also, the model's a little risque because it's a bit edgy because there's definitely, whilst it's not a particularly sexualized model, I'm sure someone somewhere has rubbed one out over this model. I mean, that's just the internet. But the model is not particularly sexualized. There is almost an element of it in the model, with the leather and the feet being out, and the large areas of like exposed skin and all that kind of stuff. You can't deny it's a little risque. It's a little risque. Okay, so this is a Dark Elder model. And this is, and I think the big one for me as well, is the skin tone. And I know, again, it's going to sound awful, but this model is glowing with life, which makes it look less evil and less grimdark. This model, it's like a pallid, sickly paleness to the skin, like a painful paleness. You could believe that this person came from the City of Eternal Night, from Komara. You could believe that. This one, I feel like this one came from fucking Middle Earth. This one came from fucking Azeroth. Probably not. Azeroth elves have actually got quite pale skin, quite purpley skin. But the point is, this one, the skin tone makes a big difference in the vibe of the model. Like, this one feels like it's from a City of Eternal Night. This one feels like it's sat on the plains of Naboo talking about democracy. It looks like Ursula Queen and Elrond had a kid. Now, some of you are saying, but Mordian, one of them is a courtier and is meant to look calm, and the other one is a vicious, like, gladiator fighter. And it's like, okay, you want to go there? Because you know what? This isn't as grimdark. We've had more grimdark than this, and I was ready. I was ready for you fucking shills. I was ready. So how about, boom? This is an Archon. This motherfucker isn't even wearing his own face. This model, admittedly, is a little derpy due to the limitations of the technology at the time. But you know what? There's no fucking mistaking this guy's a bad guy. There's no fucking mistaking he's a baddie, that he's fucking evil. Do you know why? Because nobody who's a good guy is going to be having someone else's face stapled to their fucking face. All right. No time that I've ever watched a movie or played a video game or interacted with some kind of artistic media, whatever it may be, has the guy with someone else's face stapled onto his face been the goodie. This Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs motherfucker is more evil and more grimdark by a country mile, and he's wearing basically the equivalent of a glam rock stage outfit. He is more evil and more grimdark than this model. This model is clearly a higher quality model and has all the benefits of modern technology and the detailing behind it. Of course, I cannot ever state that enough. But this model is not grimdark. And this model is grimdark. So that's what I'm saying. And if we go through the timeline of this, if we go through the timeline of this, we've got skin on face dude, pretty fucking evil, and then we've got Lilith Hesperax, who, you know, it's a little risky. You know, it's where we've got that confluence of technology and old school Warhammer vibes combined. And then we've got Lady Malaise. Ooh. Ooh. Like, honestly, frankly, the least scary Dark Elder model I've ever seen. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. It is the least scary Dark Elder model I have ever seen. The basic fucking Cabalites are more intimidating. The old Archon model is more intimidating. It's mental, man. It's absolutely mental. And there's actually a worse version of this as well. I wonder if it's here. Yeah, there's a worse version of this as well, with the fucking, like, the veil over the front. What is going on? What is going on, man? You know, the tail's interesting. Okay, you know, give credit where credit's due. The tail's interesting, a bit more evil. She looks a bit more bad from behind. And I'm not saying the veil is bad, but it's like, again, just doesn't look like a Dark Elder model. It just doesn't look like a Dark Elder model. So this is my point. You can track. You can literally. We've got some other pictures here as well. That's one of that. Look at that. That is the old Dark Elder Succubus from like 3rd edition. Again, very limited by the technology of the time, because it's like hand sculpted, but it's oozing evil, and it's, again, the skin color. It feels like this is someone from Comora. Do you know what I mean? This is someone from Comora. I mean, this is the really old Succubus. And to be fair, she's got a much lighter skin tone, so, you know, there is that. But then this, look at the riskiness, the risqueness of these models. You know, this might be a lighter skin color, and again, very limited by the technology at the time. But there's riskiness to it because there's that sexual element to it. And, you know, again, no one's going to be not no one. Few people will have beaten off over this model, but there's fucking balls to it. There's fucking balls to it, you know? And then you've got this, you know, you've got this Dark Elder model as well, which is a more recent Succubus as well. And, you know, again, it just feels so much. You know, this one's got the facial expression, you know, that it's like, it's got that snarl on the face of the model. Yeah, the snarl on the face. So, you know, like, anyway, look, the point is this. Like, you can go back through the years and you can almost see, you know, we went from dude going full-blown Hannibal Lecter, and now we've got fucking someone walking down the aisle wearing a veil. Yeah. I did not... Denzel Panther, stop lying. I did not only pick those. You're lying, mate. You're lying. Why are you always lying? You fucking lying. Do you want me... Denzel, do you want me to go and pick out some of the non-Succubus characters as well? Because, honestly, mate, do you think that's going to disprove my point, or do you think it's going to prove my point, mate? I'm happy to do it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it. Because you know what? This is I love you, mate, but this is a non-fucking... Oh, you didn't show off every single dark... You didn't show off the right Dark Elder models. Dude, the other Dark Elder models I'm going to show off are going to... The Dark Elder models I'm going to show off are going to be... Are going to look more evil than the new one. They're going to look more evil than the new one. You know? They're going to look more evil. I'm happy to do it, man. I'm happy to do it, but what do you think the end result here is going to be? You know? All right. Let's fucking do it. Come on then. I'm happy to do it, man. No dramas whatsoever. But do you think we're going to start finding less evil looking models in the new one, or more evil models in the new one? All right, let's have a look. All right, this is someone. Look at these guys. Look at this guy. Okay, like you asked for this, man. You don't come fucking crawling to me. You fucking asked for this. All right, I'm not having it. I'm not fucking having it. Here we fucking go. 1 minute. Here we fucking go. All right. Here you go. All right. Everything we've got. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Okay. All right. So let's show off some of the models that are more associated with the Court of the Archon. What do we think? Do these guys look more evil or less evil than Lady Malaise? I'm gonna go with fucking more evil. I'm going to go with intimidating. I'm going to go with fucking menacing. Okay, I'm going to go with fucking menacing. All right? I think that's more evil. Let's go over. What about if we go to another... what about if we go to another named character? Okay? Do we think that another named character is going to look more evil or less evil? More Dark Elder or less Dark Elder? Oh yeah, it's fucking Drazar. Look at that guy. He is literally the embodiment of death walking. Okay? He is literally he's got a fucking necklace of fucking soul stones that he's clearly he didn't buy them. He took them. He paid the iron price. Do you know what I mean? Look at this guy. Absolute fucking weapon. All right? What about the basic Kabbalites? The fucking basic Kabbalites look more fucking evil. Look at those facial expressions. Look at that face expression. The vicious snarl on the face. Look at that. Look at the spikes on the armor. The armor is more spiky. And I'm pretty certain these cloths are made out of human skin. There's no human skin on Lady Malaise as far as I can remember. Shall we check? Oh yeah. You know what? There's a distinct lack of someone else's skin on this model. A distinct lack of that. Okay? A distinct lack of that. All right. And the helmet design as well. Look at the helmet design. You know, let's just do this, okay? Wimpy. Hefty. You know? But let's keep going. The homunculus. You know what? This model is almost entirely made up of other people's skin. It's almost entirely made up of other people's skin. Okay? Almost entirely. Look at this guy. You're not gonna find this guy in an Imperium army. You're not gonna find this guy in a Votan army. Do you know where you're gonna find this motherfucker? In a goddamn Dark Elder army. And he's gonna look exactly where he's meant to be. Let's keep going. Yeah, here we go. Look at the fucking Hand of the Archon models, boys. Look, you've got the facial expressions, you've got the helmets, you've got the paint scheme, you've got... It's just Dark Elder. It's just so Dark Elder. You know? Everything about it is Dark Elder. You know? And then you've got the fucking mandrakes. Alright? Who you feel are one with the shadows. You know, you cannot mistake those as Dark Elder models. From the curved blades to the skin that is as dark as midnight, that bends light around it. These are shadow hunters, and that, you know, they feel like Dark Elder. And then we've got this. So, is that better? Is that better, Denzel? Did all those other models look more evil or less evil? You tell me. Come on, man. You can't pick, dude. You can't be picking and choosing. I've come with fucking receipts, bro. Come on, man. You've got to be able to argue. We've got to be able to discuss in good faith. You show threes that look exactly like it. Bollocks, man. What are you chatting? Why are you lying? Man? Why are you lying? Look at that facial expression. Why are you lying? She looks in line with Kabbalites, bro. What are you on? Oh, do I have to go? I actually can't be bothered going through it. Come on, you guys aren't chatting in good faith. You aren't chatting in good faith. Listen, motherfuckers, listen. I pointed out so many things. I talked about skin color. I talked about facial expression. I talked about spikiness of the armor. I talked about fucking vibe. I mentioned all of those things. You know? And you guys are like, oh, well, she looks like a Cavalite warrior. No, she doesn't. Okay. No, she does. She does look like a Cavalite warrior. But the Cavalite warriors look more evil than she does. The Cavalite warrior looks more evil than she does. Does a panda skin goes into the model? Of course, it has everything. Because we're not talking about the quality of the model. We're talking about this is what is wrong with modern Games Workshop, them not having any balls. So the paint scheme that Games Workshop has chosen to give the model, including the nice glowing skin, that she has everything to do with what I'm talking about. Because I said this. Listen, motherfuckers. I said this 100 times. I said this. The model is really beautiful. The model is well detailed. We're not shitting on the model in any way, shape, or form. We're not shitting on Warhammer 40k in any way, shape, or form. What we were saying is that model doesn't feel like a Dark Eldar model. It feels like a generic. It feels like something you'd see in Age of Sigmar. It feels like something you would see, you know, maybe in like a generic. You could include it in an Eldar army, and it wouldn't even look that out of place. Do you know what I mean? Like the point is, you can't just like pick out little bits. Okay, you can't pick out little bits. You can't be like, oh, well, the armor looks appropriate. Yeah, you know, I'm happy to give you the armor looks appropriate. I mean, I don't think it does. I think the armor of the basic Capitalites actually looks way more lethal, intimidating, because if the spikes are bigger, the design of the helmets is way more intimidating. So I am trying to be as accommodating as possible. But you're not being honest. You've got to be honest. You've got to be honest. And, you know, you cannot tell me that this fucking model looks particularly evil. It looks particularly evil. Looks particularly grimdark. You cannot tell me that this model is more grimdark than any of the other darker models. It's not. It is the least grimdark model. That even if you painted the skin in that sort of darker, paler vibe, which is not the point, because obviously this is what GW has chosen to do. All right, right? So you've got to take into account. We're talking about the vibe coming from Games Workshop. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be as accommodating as possible, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you guys is this model is everything that is wrong with modern corporate Games Workshop. The decisions that they have made when it comes to making and presenting this model. It is not grim. It is not particularly grim dark. There's no riskiness to it. There's nothing that can possibly offend about this model. It's just so safe. Do you see what I mean? It's just so safe. And again, I cannot repeat myself. There's only so many times I can repeat myself before I'm just like, fuck you guys. Frankly, in the nicest possible way. There's so much you can enjoy about this model. There's so much you can like about this model. And I am not telling you I'm not telling you this is a bad model. I've never said this is a bad model. I said at the very beginning, I thought it was a really detailed model, really well sculpted, that many people would enjoy it and all that kind of stuff. Many people could enjoy it. But this model right here, this specific model, right? I know you guys are going to say, look at the new Archon. I'm not talking about the new Archon. I'm talking about this model. This is, the new Archon. I've got no beef with the new Archon. If I beef the new Archon, I'd be talking about the new Archon. What I'm telling you is this particular model right here, the one that is the topic of discussion, represent everything wrong with modern corporate GW because it's just so safe. There's nothing here that could possibly offend anybody. And that was my point from the beginning. That's my point in the beginning. So you guys trying to argue this point, argue that point, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, I'm just going to say this. You're boring. Not you, the model. You're boring. Lady Malaise, you're boring. There you go. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Redfield, 32, Jurgens, Miasma, Try Again, Bragg, RJ, Scorpion, Bonbon Vert, Lord Pryor, Nicholas Walsh, John Stubbs, Guardian, Varney, Sword, Fish Trombone, Picklock the Forged. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.